Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dion's Daily Dose. This is a special thing that I do with my friend Shawn, where we basically react to news stories. Sometimes he presents them to me, sometimes I present them to him. This is one of the ones that he wasn't aware of.
Nope.
Until I presented it to him, and it's one reason why I like doing this show. Anyway, I'm Dion.
And I'm Shawn.
So this particular case is something that I noticed it a few days ago, but I haven't had a chance to kind of send it out because I really, really want to tell you guys about this. I can hardly articulate the words, but let me show you. And this is why I'm so like, ugh. All right. So on X, at End Wokeness. Now, if you're on X, more than likely you at least follow Elon Musk, because a lot of times he'll call attention to things. I don't know if he did on this one or not, but this is so insane, beyond words, End Wokeness says, and I wholeheartedly agree. Here it goes. 8 out of the 9 migrants that were convicted for essaying a German girl got spared jail time. Now, let me repeat that, this time in non-censorship speak. 8 out of the 9 migrants that were convicted for gang raping a German girl were spared jail time. Meanwhile, a 20-year-old German girl was sent to prison for saying, quote, hateful remarks about it. So here's the worst part. She didn't just go to prison. Here's the article, The Publica, Germany, woman convicted of offending migrant gang rapists receives longer sentence than the rapists.
Crazy.
This is clown world, man. It has to be. It's not a long article. I'll read it to you. A 20-year-old woman in Hamburg, Germany has been sent to prison after making hateful remarks towards a migrant who was involved in the gang rape of a child. This woman is just one of 140 people being investigated for making, quote, harmful comments towards the rapists. The horrific assault took place in 2020 and involved multiple groups of migrant men independently attacking a 14-year-old girl in Hamburg's State Park over the course of one night. The park had become a popular hangout spot for youth during the COVID-19 lockdowns, and the girl had been there drinking with her friends. But they became scattered after police swept the park and broke up groups while enforcing social distancing measures. Confused and alone, the girl was defenseless against the first mob of 4 predators. I remember this story. Do you remember this story? Have you heard this? Okay. Listen. The men took turns on the girl, repeatedly raping her over an extended period of time. They robbed her of her wallet and cell phone before leaving her. Traumatized and disoriented from the first attack and having no method of calling for help, the girl was assaulted a second time by 2 more men who took advantage of her vulnerable state. Disturbingly, her assailants begun inviting other men to rape her via their chat groups, gleefully sharing the news that there was an isolated teenage girl in the dark park with no potential witnesses.
This is terrible.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
The child was attacked a third time by a single man and then a fourth time by 3 more men who dragged her into a bush and sexually assaulted her. To hell with censorship. Finally, the child managed to break free and ran, though pursued by her rapist. She eventually came across people who recognized her traumatized state and immediately called the police. Finally, a total of 11 men were initially charged, but 2 were acquitted quickly due to a lack of DNA evidence. The sperm of 9 of the men, however, had been successfully recovered from the girl's body. 5 of the men were in possession of German passports, while the remainder were not citizens of Germany. Among those charged, none were actually of German heritage. The rapists were identified as a Pole, an Egyptian, a Libyan, a Kuwaiti, an Iranian, an Armenian, an Afghan, a Syrian, and a Montenegrin. The men had a team of 20 defense attorneys arguing their innocence.
Wow.
How did I'm genuinely curious how they afforded that many attorneys.
Good question.
Videos of the first and third rapes had been recorded and shared by the assailants to contacts through WhatsApp. But the videos were deleted before the case could be heard in court. Witnesses who did see the footage before its deletion did testify that it depicted clear sexual assault, with one noting that the girl had been holding her hands over her head in a protective position. During the trial, the victim, who now suffers from PTSD as a result of the night of the abuse, was called upon to speak about what happened to her. While she recounted her horrific ordeal, the men showed no signs of remorse, and at least one is said to have almost fallen asleep during proceedings. However, despite DNA and WhatsApp evidence, 8 of the 9 men convicted walked free with probation and spent no time in prison at all. Wow. Let me let that sink in. A gang of men, multiple gangs of men, who sexually assaulted a child, 8 out of 9 of them got no jail time whatsoever, walked out with fucking probation. The 9th was sentenced to 2 years and 9 months in prison without parole. 2 months.
Nope. 2 years.
Excuse me, 2 years and 9 months.
That's it.
For destroying her life. The case caused outrage in Germany, both for the brutality of the rape itself and the lenient sentences given to the rapists.
Yeah.
As a result, one of the men had his identity and phone number circulated on Snapchat by furious sleuths. Angered by the news of the case, a 20-year-old woman from Hamburg messaged the number through WhatsApp. Okay? So this guy, one of the people involved in this, his information was shared out there. It's out there. This is who one of these pieces of garbage are. And so a 20-year-old got the number, and through WhatsApp, the unnamed woman called him a, quote, dishonorable rapist pig, and a, quote, disgusting miscarriage. She added, aren't you ashamed when you look in the mirror?
They should be.
Those are all very valid messages, in my opinion. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. The targeted rapist then reported the woman to police, and she was charged with sending him insulting messages. The woman has now been convicted and sentenced to a weekend in prison for her remarks, meaning that she will have spent more time in jail than 8 of the 9 rapists. In court, the woman apologized for her remarks, saying she acted out of a reflex upon hearing the sickening details of the case. But according to the Hamburger Abendblatt, I don't know how you say it. Hamburger is actually in Germany. This woman is not the only person who could be facing a conviction for insulting rapists. Authorities in Hamburg are reportedly investigating 140 people for offenses related to issuing insults, threats, or other detriment towards the Stad Park predators. Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Crazy.
Dude. Yes, a 20-year-old who was angry enough by what happened to, again, a 14-year-old child by groups of disgusting animals. They're not human beings at this point. They're animals. By sharing her rage, by texting this number, she gets to spend more time in jail than the vast majority of the pieces of human garbage that did this to that girl. They execution, as far as I'm concerned. Like, there's more than enough evidence that these are the guilty ones. DNA evidence, pretty solid.
DNA don't lie.
Execute all of them publicly. That you know what? What deterrent is there for the rest of them out there?
There isn't one.
That's not
because
a
of this.
deterrent.
No.
That doesn't deter crime at all. They look at this, they're like, oh wow.
Germany doesn't have the death penalty though.
Maybe they need to bring it back.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Obviously, whoever the judge was in that case needs their damn head examined. But this is just a symptom of a much larger problem that's taking place all over the world. We've seen these liberal DAs handing out either non-existent, practically, sentences, liberal judges handing out non-existent sentences, and people just keep doing stuff. They're not even charging people for crimes. How long until we get to the point to where you and me sitting here talking about what disgusting pieces of filth they are is a hate crime?
True.
We're not far from that.
No.
This used to be a country where you could speak your mind. So did Germany. It's mind-blowing.
It really is.
It's mind-blowing. And it goes to show that, like, everything is legitimately upside down at this point. It's whack. For lack of a better term, it's whack. And it infuriates me because obviously, I mean, pedophiles are garbage, absolute filth, lowest of the low. And to give someone any jail time for calling these people what they are blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. I want to go right back because there's a proposed community note on this original post, and I haven't looked at it yet. But let's take a look at what these proposed community notes actually say. It says here, some of the criminals were minors at the time and given juvenile sentences. 4 of them were not immigrants. The story says that they were all immigrants. They just happened to be German citizens. Yep. They had already gotten their citizenship. The woman who had posted the hateful comments spent only 1 weekend in juvenile detention. So what?
Yeah.
she still spent time in jail. She was sentenced to time in jail, which does not, that 8 of the 9 did not. So it's an accurate, dude. The abuse of community notes is
and she was 20 years old, so I don't know if she would have been able to go to a juvenile detention center.
Right. She's 20. She wouldn't have gone to juvenile detention.
Yeah.
She went to jail. It's not, no, she's not. Missing context. 8 of the 9 criminals were minors at the time and received juvenile sentences of 1 to 2 years who were suspended for probation. Dude, no shit, Sherlock. That's what the freaking article says. Oh my God. Article is article is factually true. It's odd to see people using community notes to try and debunk an article because criminals who sexually assaulted someone were minors. Agree. Post is factually correct. Opinions defending playing down rape should belong in comments, not community notes. I agree. Yeah, this is, oh my God. The ones that claim they're minors, I don't know. I honestly tuned out most of the facts about the individuals who committed this crime because I don't want to learn about them.
No.
Because the more I learn about them, the angrier I get. And it makes me want to go to Germany and rectify this miscarriage of justice. I'm not going to do that. But I'm very tempted to. This is what I was talking about in another video about having unlimited resources, right? If I had billions of dollars, like hundreds of billions of dollars, I'd have a strike team that would go and rectify miscarriages of justice like this. I just would. I would. And the 14-year-old who had her entire life destroyed would never have to work again. She would have a lifetime of therapy in order to try to help her the best possible. This is why people like me aren't billionaires, because we spend it all on stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that just, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's mind blowing that this is allowed to occur. That it happens. Yeah. That's it. That's all I have to say. Anything you want to add?
Nope. It's terrible.
It's horrific, man. And I don't care. I don't care. Like, oh, these guys were minors and they were sentenced to more time. All of that goes out the window, because the biggest prison sentence that they received was less than 3 years.
Yep.
Are you freaking kidding me? Less than 2 years, what? 2 years, 9 months or something like that, right?
3 months.
Something like that. Less than 3 years. That for that horrific of a crime. What the hell happened to Germany, man?
Good question.
I'm going to say this. Germany is quickly turning into the place that it was after World War I and before World War II.
That's scary.
It's called the Weimar Republic. Look it up. I'm going to do a video on what Weimar Republic actually was. And yeah, it's not good. No. It's not good. Some things have to change. They have to change. That's some messed up stuff, dude. Completely messed up. But that's all I got for you today. God bless you. God bless Indiana. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the people of Germany. Y'all got to fix it over there, man. Y'all, like, I don't know how you're going to do it, but just like here, we gotta yank it up by the root, because that's the kind of thing that's starting to happen over here. Is people are getting longer sentences for rectifying crimes or calling out crimes than they are for the sickos that do the crime. It mind-boggling.
It is.
God bless you. God bless Indiana. God bless the United States of America. Have a good night.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Shawn Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2024. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.